Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse video. Today, we're going to be checking out two brand new installments that were gold label exclusives to the McFarlane store. They are still available if you're interested. I will put links down in the description below, but I am happy with what I'm looking at here. The first character, the first figure we're going to be talking about today is Todd Rice, aka Obsidian. If you prior got the Alan Scott Green Lantern figure, as well as Jade, who is Obsidian's brother, well, then you're in good standing with your DC Multiverse collection. The backside of the packaging, if you thought these were page punchers in the sense you're getting a comic book, you are sorely mistaken. You basically just get a slab. Not that I'm complaining, because I don't really need the comic book anyways, but maybe some extra accessories. That would have been cool instead of just a weird character slab. Here's the barcode. Like I said, I'll put links down in the description below. And then we have Mr. Bones, whose real name is Mr. Bones. This is the original McFarlane co-created character, Mr. Bones. Like I said, gold label McFarlane store exclusive. This is not to be confused with Director Bones, who is kind of the later incarnation of Mr. Bones. But yeah, it's just a cool character. It's a skeleton man. You don't really need much more for an action figure. Keep an eye on this hand. We'll be talking more about that. And here's the barcode. Like I said, if you need them, links below. So this is going to be an absolute blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse. Kind of sort of page punchers, but not really at the same time. Mr. Bones and Obsidian. And right before we get started, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who continues to watch my DC Multiverse videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you. We talk about old toys, we talk about new toys, we talk about daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you like. And with all that being said, here's everything taken out of the packaging. Now, I will tell you, I'll save you some time. These are two awesome installments to the DC Multiverse. They are the exact same figure with the exact same accessories, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. So with Obsidian and Mr. Bones, you get some open hands as such. Those work. That's cool. Then you get the weird trigger finger hand and a even more open hand. Now, this is where it's weird because you already have technically the open hand, but now you have a more gloved hand at the same time. It's a different color blue. Why? Why do this? It's so bizarre. The Obsidian figure more than makes up for that bizarreness, though, because every element to the character is there, minus the extra little glove parts that they've reused from the prior, we'll say, Electric Supermans. But this is really cool. This is Todd Rice. This is Obsidian. This is the son of Alan Scott, brother of Jade. I really like the face. You can see his eyes. You can see the teeth and the rest of the blue and black of the mask. Now, the cape with his little obsidian necklace here, it just kind of wraps around that, though they kind of tried to treat that as a really cool separate accessory when they did the listings up on the website. The cape is really cool, though. It's a really big, billowy, bendy wire cape. It's heavy, it's hefty, it's awesome. And Mr. Bones has the exact same cape, of which I am the most stoked about. Now, you have the elements of the costume. Nothing is sculpted in, minus the extra parts and pieces like the belt and the piece around his neck. But all of that being said, for someone like me, all of the super heroic painted details are there, and that's really what I like. Sculpted details kind of go either way for me. Yes, that would be more ideal, but I like when it's more form-fitting. That's what I think about with superheroes, and like I said, they have nailed it across the board. So yes, thumbs up to Obsidian here. They did a fantastic job. And because I liked Obsidian so much, guess what? It goes double for Mr. Bones. No, Obsidian does not come with a flight stand, just FYI. Mr. Bones has the exact same hands. He even has that weird extra gloved outstretched hand. So go figure. This is where, because they gave you this extra hand, why not do the more skeleton hand to evoke more of his powers? He's basically a see-through guy with corrosive skin. That's really what it is. That's why you can see his skeleton, is just because his skin is clear. But he does have corrosive powers in the sense of his skin, and you can't touch him, and yada yada. Now, I know this will never happen, but he's very fond of smoking. Just FYI, a lot of the covers was drawn with him with a cigarette in hand. The other really cool accessory that he could have had was that in a battle with the villain Carcharo, he gets his leg bitten off. That's why you see in later issues of Infinity Inc. and Helix and all of that, he has a cybernetic leg. That would have been awesome to include, but for what you get, the fact that we got Mr. Bones, McFarlane Toys rocked it, so I'm happy with that. Same as Obsidian, they try to treat the little necklace as something that's just, whoa, look at that cool accessory. It's part of his costume. Don't do that. Now, in terms of his costume, because of the skull, you could say this is more of the Infinite Frontier return of Mr. Bones, or you could say it's the original McFarlane run. The costumes are the same, except for the skull. The skull, while I would have loved to have seen more of that original look for the skull, this skull rocks. They nailed it. This is amazing. And I love that you can see the eyes in there and you get plenty of articulation out of it. Now, I know this might blow some of your minds out there, but because he was co-created by McFarlane, he has a very distinct looking Spawn cape, of which, because Obsidian and Mr. Bones have the same cape, it doesn't exactly fit him, but you can make it work to a degree. I wish it had more of the Spawn elements going up around the back of his head, but you could pretty much make it work. Again, it could have been a lot more Spawnish, but at least the cape is. And the cape, like Obsidian, is amazing. It's bendy wire to the max. You get him in all the dramatic poses with the little clasps around his neck. It rocks. It works. It totally holds the cape in place. No problemos whatsoever. But the big old pirate boots and the pirate gloves and the yellow around the gloves and the big crossbones, it all works. Now, the belt could have been a separate piece. It is painted on, but it works. It totally works. And like I said, the pirate boot elements right here, the big old yellow part, it's awesome. It really is. But that's where that cybernetic leg really would have been cool if they had included that. That all being said, I love this figure. This is one of my favorite McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Go figure. Mr. Bones, which, I'll be honest with you, I have thought of Mr. Bones, but never really thought they would make a figure. Lo and behold, they did it. And rocked it, they did. Now, that extra hand, you could paint it if you want. It's kind of the skeleton hand, kinda. Obsidian, maybe some shadow powers. How do you really do that? It's fine. At least you got him a cool cape and a costume to match. But like I said, across the board, even though these are the exact same figure with different parts and pieces, I really can't complain. These are the epitome of Obsidian and Mr. Bones, and I couldn't be more happy with them. But that's where the collecting of DC Multiverse comes in. So like I said, if you have Alan Scott and you have his daughter Jade, well, now you have Obsidian, and it's a big old family affair, and that's really cool. Activate the Starheart, am I right? Now, in the context of the comics with Obsidian and Jade and Infinity Inc. and Helix and all of that, yes, you could have Power Girl. Yes, you could have Wonder Woman. It's just, they really haven't made any other character except for those. So fingers crossed we get a few more before the timer runs out. But truth be told, Mr. Bones, in the context of a DC Multiverse shelf, he just looks really cool. Even though he is a good guy, he's kind of like an anti-hero, that kind of thing, but he just looks really cool battling Batman. That's really all I got for you. So that's going to wrap it up for my quick look at two brand new McFarlane Toys online gold label exclusives, Mr. Bones and Obsidian. They rocked these. It's impressive. I really like what they did here. I really wish that with a lot of other characters they had put this amount of time and effort into them. Now, I've made my quips and qualms about the weird hand choices and everything else, but yes, pretty much all of the details for their costumes, for their characters is there, and they have a really nice bendy wire cape. So I highly recommend them if you're a DC Multiverse collector. And so you've heard my thoughts, and now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything McFarlane Toys, DC Multiverse. And until the next one, I will leave you guys with that. Adios.